Welcome into a brand new episode of WSI TV. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back for another brand new episode of WSI TV. I'm Jordan Bishop and I'm joined today by Lea Warren.
Hi.
Now, to give you a little introduction about Lea, she's brought this story to us about big oil and clean energy, which we're going to get through. And there's actually two fantastic opportunities for you here, depending on how it plays out. But first and foremost, make sure you visit WSITV.com to sign up for the free daily newsletters and get instant access to the WSI Vault. Now, Lea, like I said, you brought this story to our attention here, and it's a great one at that. Could you just give us a little insight into what, first of all, big oil is doing right now, where they're looking for profits?
Yeah, so as oil is starting to dry up, big oil is looking in a different direction. So some of the big oil companies are petrochemical plants on the Gulf Coast, including in Texas and Louisiana. And we're seeing Exxon, Dow, Chevron, and several others putting about $12 billion into new plants being built out there. And these plants will be producing everything from cleaning fluids to plastics.
Right, I mean, that's a huge number. You said 12 billion. So we've got 4 billion going into the facilities on the East Coast. And then we've got Chevron, Phillips 66, Qatar Petroleum, like you said. They've got an $8 billion venture that they're putting together right now. So obviously they know where their future lies. I mean, the oil supply will not last forever. These oil riches that not only the oil companies, but a lot of mega wealthy people have been experiencing in the past hundreds of years is starting to dry up as well. So of course the whole world, and I think this is spearheaded by the millennial generation here, is looking towards clean energy. So, Lea, if you could just give us a few numbers here of the automotive, the electric car industry of 2018 and where we're heading with that one.
Absolutely. So one of the big names out there is Tesla. It's the biggest producer of electric cars currently, and they've just announced that they'll be hiring and that their output of cars is going to be higher than expected this year. So right now there are 3.2 million electric cars, which is a 55% increase from 2017. But it's also projected that we're going to be up to 25 million cars by the year 2025, which is a huge increase.
Right, that is absolutely massive. I mean, it's hard to fathom that going from 2017 to 2018, and then in 2025, just in 6 years from now, 25 million cars on the road. Now, Tesla does have its barriers that it needs to hop over
Absolutely.
in order to get there. But I think that's a realistic expectation, honestly, with that growth percentage there. But we're not just looking at electric cars here and automated cars. We're also looking at wind and solar. And Lea, you've brought to my attention Pattern Energy Group and Hannon Armstrong. Can you give us a little insight into what those two companies are all about?
Absolutely. So oil isn't just funding cars in the world. It's also a big deal for just any kind of electricity or power. So we're looking at Pattern Energy Group, which is a huge producer of wind and solar energy. It's based in the United States in San Francisco, but it has plants all over the world, mainly producing wind energy, but they're starting to delve further into solar energy. And then Hannon Armstrong actually funds ventures, investments, and provides loans for sustainable companies. So they would be who someone like Pattern Energy would go to look for aid to open a new plant.
Right, so as you said, I mean, that's a huge industry coming up. So it's almost like big oil is fighting off these companies on all different fronts. It's not just the electric cars, it's the wind and solar and all these other energy companies that are coming up. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more pop up as this industry starts to bloom. It's almost like it reminds me of the tech industry, how it was in the late 90s and how it was starting to really thrive. I think we're going to see that with clean energy as well. So we've got a race here for the world's profit supply, as we've put it. So it does become a little political here. We do have big oil, this call it old wealth, this old industry that likes to grease the pockets of these politicians. That does give them a lot of power. They have deep pockets, right? But clean energy has big dreams. They have a lot of goals. And like I said, the millennial generation who are coming more and more to the forefront of the workforce are going to be pushing clean energy. Not to say they're the only generation pushing it, but of course the world does seem to be going a little greener here. So it's tough because on one side you've got the big oil profits that everybody has been, a lot of people have been living off of. And it is a great industry in itself. I mean, it's run the world for the past however many years. But we do have this new this new contender coming up in clean energy. So let's turn our attention to the charts here, because of course the stories are all well and good. We can talk all day about big oil, clean energy. We've got the two companies at the forefront of each here. We've got Chevron and we've got Tesla. Now, Leah, if you could go through each chart, starting with Chevron, and tell us what we're looking at here.
Absolutely. So with Chevron, what we're seeing is there's been this really, really strong line of resistance for the past few years. But recently Chevron looks like it might be about to break through. It's tough to tell at the moment, but if it does break through, that's going to be a very bullish sign for the future. And with Tesla, we've seen this really sharp decline in the recent years, but it's actually broken through that and is showing an increase this summer, which is likely tied to the increase in sales of the Model 3.
Right, exactly. So, you know, one thing we could say about Chevron is, like you said, if it does break through, it's very bullish. There's a chance it might not break through. There's a chance it might bounce off, and that would tell you that their plastic front and their chemical front isn't working out too well, and they're relying solely on the oil. With Tesla, we've already sort of had the breakout, so it's already sort of made its move. And of course, these companies aren't the only companies in these spaces, but they are of course the big ones to watch right now. So make sure you keep an eye on Chevron. That ticker is CVX, and Tesla, TSLA. And that's about all we have time for today. Leah, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of WSI TV. Be sure to visit WSITV.com, where you can subscribe for free with no contract and gain instant access to the secrets of self-made millionaires via the WSI TV Vault. So go ahead and claim this gift for free now at WSITV.com.